Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kita mulakan kelas kita pada pagi ini dengan membaca Ummul Kitab Al-Fatihah. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin, arrahmanirrahim, maliki yaumiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidina Muhammadin asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, ampunkanlah dosa-dosa kami, ampunkanlah dosa kedua ibu bapa kami, dan kasihlah mereka sebagaimana mereka mengasihi kami di masa kecil. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, kurniakanlah kepada kami ilmu yang bermanfaat untuk diri kami, keluarga kami, agama kami, bangsa kami dan negara kami. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, berilah kepada kami kejayaan di dunia dan di akhirat. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, jadikanlah kami orang-orang yang bersyukur. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillah, kita bersyukur pada Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, pada pagi ini kita dapat meneruskan kelas kita, kelas yang ketiga untuk minggu yang kedua. Okey. So diharapkan semua sihat Okey. So yang pertama sekali pada pagi ini saya akan panggil kedatangan kemudian kita akan teruskan dengan apa ni? Kita punya kelas lah Okey. Ahmad Fikri ada?
Ada, sir.
Okey, Ahmad Fikri. Fatin Hazwani.
Ada, sir.
Okey, Muhammad Haris. Muhammad Haris. Muhammad Haris bin Maizatul Akmal.
Ada, sir.
Ada. Muhammad Haris bin Hairul Nizam. Tak ada. Muhammad Iqbal Hazwan. Tak ada. Muhammad Irfan Izzat. Tak ada. Muhammad Syukri.
Ada, sir.
Okay. Muhammad Zaim. Tak ada. Nur Farisha. Tak ada. Nur Farah Akilah.
Saya, sir.
Okay. Nurul Atikah.
Saya, sir.
Okay. Nurul Fatin Atirah. Tak ada. Nurul Syakirah. Tak ada. Rus Syazwina.
Ada, sir.
Okay. Siti Aisyah.
Ada, sir.
Okay. Siti Farhana.
Saya, sir.
Okay. Syafiah Izzati.
Ada, sir.
Okay. Wan Nur Liana.
Ada, sir.
Okay. Aina Fazira.
Saya, sir.
Okay. Aiman Haikal.
Ada, sir.
Okay. Hasna Nadirah.
Saya, sir.
Okay. Izyan Syazwani.
Ada, sir.
Okay. Nur Syahirah. Tak ada. Nur Syazwina.
Saya, sir.
Okay. Nur Syam Zulaika.
Saya, sir.
Okay. Nur Azlan. Sorry, Nur Azlan. Nur Azian. Nur Azian ada.
Sir, Nurul Syakira ada.
Okay, internet saya ada problem sikit tadi. Okay, saya ulang balik. Nur Azian ada? Tak ada. Muhammad Izzadin?
Ada, sir.
Ada. Muhammad Azamuddin? Tak ada. Okey, nanti di hujung kelas saya akan panggil lagi. Okey, kita
Sir,
teruskan
Nurul
dengan
Syakira ada.
Nurul Syakira.
Ada.
Okey, Nurul Syakira ada. Ada lagi?
Sir,
Nurul Fatin
Atira ada.
Siapa?
Nurul Fatin Atira.
Nurul Fatin, Atira. Okey. Lagi?
Sir, Zaim pun ada tadi. Dia pergi tandas.
Zaim. Satu rumah dengan Zaim Mana Muhammad Zaim?
Ada, sir.
Okey. Lagi? Siapa lagi yang ada? Masa tadi tak ada, sekarang ada. Ada siapa lagi? Okey Okey. Kita teruskan. Kita bermula dengan soalan tutorial itu. Kita tengok soalan nombor 2. Ya, cuba buat soalan nombor 2. Okay, question 2 is about Jula Juli. Acquired 80% ordinary shares of Bintang 3 Berhad. Tertinggal limit off tu. On 1st January 2020 by issuing 400,000 ordinary shares of RM2 each. On the date of acquisition, the balance of Bintang 3 Berhad equity and liabilities comprise of the following. Ordinary shares RM900,000. In unit 1 million. Retained profit 300,000. General reserve 50,000. On the same day, a property was revalued at 30,000 more than its carrying value. Non-controlling interest was valued based on proportion of fair value of net asset of Bintang 3 Berhad on the date of acquisition. Required calculate goodwill or bargain purchase. Okay, dapat tak bargain purchase? Dapat.
Dapat, sir.
224,000 dapat So inilah dia jawapannya. Consideration transferred 400,000 times RM2 equal to 800,000. Kemudian fair value of net asset 900,000 ordinary share. Retained profit 300,000. General reserve 50,000. ARR 30,000. Altogether 1,280,000. Then we find the non-controlling interest 1280 times 20%. Kita dapat 256,000. Campur 800,000 dapat 1056. So 1056 kita bandingkan dengan 1280, kita dapat bahagian purchase Kita dapat bahagian purchase kat sini, kita letakkan bracket kita letakkan bracket. Tak boleh nak edit sebab ini adalah PDF tak boleh nak edit. So itulah jawapan dia, bahagian purchase 224,000. Jadi kita tengok sikit macam mana kita nak buat journal entry Macam mana kita nak buat journal entry untuk yang ni. Okay. Journal entry. Entry. Jadi kita panggil consolidation journal entry. Consolidation journal entry. Okay. So kita nak debit apa? Debit apa kelas? Okay, kita akan debit ordinary share capital Kita debit ordinary share capital of S. S ni siapa di sini? S ni S. 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 S adalah bintang, bintang 3. Okey. Berapa banyak? 900,000. Okey, lepas tu kita akan debit lagi. Akan debit retain profit. Ya, retain profit of bintang 3 sebanyak 300,000. Apa lagi? Debit general reserve. 50,000. Apa lagi? Debit ARR. RM30,000. Kredit apa? Kredit investment, investment in bintang. Berapa nilai dia? Nilai dia 800,000. Apa lagi? Kredit non-controlling interest 224,000. Dan kredit bahagian purchase. Oh, ni salah ni. 226 256. Okay, so inilah dia. Consolidation journal. Entry. Okay, kelas. Jadi soalan 3 awak cuba sendiri. Soalan 3. Okay, ada persoalan berkaitan dengan topik yang pertama. Kalau ada boleh tanya. Ada soalan?
Tak ada, sir.
Tak ada. Okay, kita teruskan dengan topik yang kedua. Saya ada bagi file Excel tu. Topik tu summary of consolidation. So kita akan bermula dengan kita melihat summary dia sekali lalu. Okay, jadi apa yang kita perlu buat apabila kita nak buat consolidation ni apa yang kita perlu buat? Okay, Jadi yang pertamanya bila kita dapat satu soalan tu, kita dapat satu soalan tu kita kena analyse. Yang pertamanya siapa adalah acquirer, who is the acquirer, and then the date of acquisition, how many percent acquired, what is the amount of consideration transferred, sebagaimana dalam ni lah. Contohnya, Ash acquire interest in ordinary share, preference share and debenture. How many percent? 75%, 60%, 40%. Okay. Who are other party? The other party is non-controlling interest, 25%, 40%. For the debenture, there is no non-controlling interest because non-controlling interest is only referring to equity. Kemudian, date of acquisition. Kemudian, consideration transfer dia berapa banyak? Dia bayar dengan tunai, dia bayar dengan share. Kemudian, ordinary share on the date of acquisition, how much? How many? Kemudian, retained earning berapa? Preferential capital ada berapa? ARR ada berapa? Fair value dia berapa? Alright? Okay, itu adalah analyzing the introduction. Introduction maknanya berkaitan dengan butir-butir berkaitan dengan acquisition. Okay. So after we have satisfied ourselves by knowing the introduction part of the question, the second part is to calculate goodwill or bargain purchase. Goodwill or bargain purchase. Okay. So goodwill basically when the fair value of investment or consideration transferred is greater than the fair value of net asset, that is a goodwill. Whereas for the bargain purchase, if the fair value of net asset is greater than the consideration transferred. Okay, so basically there are two ways of calculating the goodwill. There are two methods. The first one is partial goodwill and the second one is full goodwill. So partial goodwill is what? Partial goodwill is calculated based on NCI. NCI is calculated based on fair value of net asset. Whereas for the full goodwill, NCI, non-controlling interest, is calculated based on fair value of shares of subsidiary. Okay, and then goodwill is also subject to impairment of goodwill. Okay, and then we analyze the financial statement. We go through one by one, line by line. Okay, basically we can go through, but the most important thing is we are going to know the case. We are going to know the case by looking at the additional information provided in the question. Okay, so first we are going to, after we calculate the goodwill, we are going to analyze the financial statement brought down and financial statement carried down. What is financial statement brought down? Financial statement brought down is basically we are analyzing the items in the statement of changes in equity. In particular, we are analyzing the group retained profit and other reserve, as well as the non-controlling interest at the beginning and at the end of the current year. Sebab tu kita ada analysis of financial statement brought down and also carried down. Kemudian, okay, so detailnya nanti ni kita akan tengok masa kita buat nanti. Okay, so basically we are going to analyze the statement of changes in equity item, group retained profit, NCI, by analyzing the retained profit of the subsidiary and retained profit of the holding, and then other reserve of the subsidiary and other reserve of the holding company. Okay, so basically concentration is on the NCI column. NCI column tu adalah kolom yang kedua. Group retained profit adalah kolom yang pertama. Okay. And then financial statement of subsidiaries. So whenever you are stuck, you can refer to this analysis. You can refer to the summary 1. Okay. And then summary 2. Okay, summary 2. Okay. So after we calculate and we know the balance brought down and carried down of the items in the group retained profit, and also non-controlling interest, we are going to prepare our statement of profit or loss. We are going to prepare the statement of profit or loss, and also the statement of changes in equity, okay, and also the statement of financial position. Okay, so basically kalau kita baca semua ni pun kita dah boleh faham. Kalau tak faham kena tanyalah. I will not go through one by one. You baca, kemudian kalau ada yang tak faham, you tanya pada saya. Alright. So kita akan tengok calculation of goodwill and preparation of financial statement according to all the step tu sampai step yang kelima tadi tu. Sampai step yang kelima, iaitu CSOFP tu. Okay. Dengan melihat kepada bahagian yang pertama, partial goodwill. Partial goodwill. So, walaupun kita kali pertama, kita telah disediakan dengan satu set statement of financial position untuk H dan S. Untuk H dan S. So, sila lihat di sini, we have two columns. The first column is statement of financial position of H. The second column is statement of financial position of S. So, we analyze line by line. Start with property, plant, equipment. Okay, there are items in H as well as S. Okay, we can see that the amount of S is greater, 660, 500. And then what else we have? We have investment in S, ordinary share, preference share, and debenture. Okay, nampak tak ni? 380, 90, 48. Apa dia ni? This one, these three, 1, 2, 3 ni, these three are consideration transferred for acquisition of ordinary share, preference share, and debenture masing-masing. Jadi dia beli ordinary share, dia bayar 380. Dia beli preference share, dia bayar 90. Dia beli debenture, dia bayar 48. Okay, kelas? So this ada, kita panggil cost of investment. Dalam statement of financial position, kita tunjukkan dia sebagai investment in S. Tetapi dalam calculation of goodwill, kita panggil dia consideration transfer. Okay, next, we have current assets. Inventory, trade receivable, itu biasa. Cash and bank balance, biasa. Okay, tetapi kita ada dua item kat sini yang kita panggil dividend receivable, interest receivable. Dalam account siapa? In the account of holding company. So in the account of holding company, we can find dividend receivable and interest receivable. Where this interest and dividend coming from? They come from the subsidiary. They come from subsidiary because they invest ordinary share, preference share, and debenture. So in return, they are going to get the dividend as well as interest. Okay. Jadi dua item ni kita panggil intercompany transaction and balance. Intercompany transaction and balance. Next. Equity and liabilities, we have ordinary share of holding and subsidiary. Preference share of holding, preference share of subsidiary. Retained earning, brought down of holding and subsidiary. Profit after tax for the year of holding and subsidiary. Other components of equity. So other components of equity kat sini sebenarnya adalah ARR, Asset Revaluation Reserve. Saya tukarkan teruslah. Asset Revaluation Reserve. Okay, kelas. So just now, kita ada investment in ordinary share, 380. 380 ni untuk membeli ordinary share yang bernilai 250 ni. Tetapi bukan 100%. Kemudian, 90 ni untuk beli preference share. Ni preference share-nya. Dan 48 ni untuk beli debenture. Ini debenture-nya. Tapi dia tak beli semua. Ordinary, preference, and debenture. Holding acquire the 3. But not all unit. Only part of the units. Kita akan tengok nanti berapa persen dia acquire. Okay, after debenture, kita ada trade payable. Kita ada tax payable. Ni. Kita ada dividend payable 37 dan 6. So bagi subsidiary, bila dia declare dividend, dia akan record dia sebagai dividend payable. Dan juga interest payable. Bagi holding, dia akan record sebagai dividend receivable dan interest receivable. Okey. Jadi, dividend receivable dengan interest receivable ni nanti kita akan offset. Kita akan offset. Okey. Line dia memang teruk sangat ni. Saya asyik terputus saja. Dah 2 kali dah terputus untuk kelas pagi ini. Okey. So, itulah dia. Ya. Soalan dia. Dan soalan tu tak habis lagi. Kita teruskan dengan di bawah dia sekali. Bawah sekali ada statement of profit or loss. Ada revenue, ada cost of sale, gross profit, dan ada satu loss on disposal of property, plant, equipment, amounting to 1,500. Okay, what is this? This is actually disposal, loss on disposal made by the subsidiary. And then dividend income, interest income, other income. Dividend income tadi sama kan, nilai dia 25,950. And also interest income 4,800. These are coming from the subsidiary, and other income is actually also coming from the subsidiary. Okay, distribution cost, admin cost, finance cost. Okay, and then we get the profit before tax. We have taxation. We have profit for the year. And then we have other comprehensive income. The comprehensive income ni kat sini kita ada ARR for the year, 20,000 for the holding company and 10,000 for the subsidiary company. And lastly, we have ordinary dividend proposed by holding, 40,000, by subsidiary 25,000. Preference share dividend proposed 8,000 for the holding company and 12,000 for the subsidiary company. Okay. Jadi yang pertama sekali kita nak kena analyse. So based on the analysis, it is not given actually in the question here, but it is shown in the analysis of introduction ni. Apa dia? Acquisition. Acquisition, Ash acquire 75% ordinary share in S. 75% of 250,000. Kemudian dia acquire juga preference share, 60% of 150,000. Kemudian dia acquire juga debenture 40% of 120,000. Bila tarikhnya? 1st January 2014, semua sekali ni. Berapa banyak dia bayar? Untuk ordinary share dia bayar 180,000 cash and 200,000 share. Jadi dia bayar 380,000, sama dengan ni kan? 380,000. Kemudian untuk preference share dia bayar 90,000, sama dengan ni. Dan untuk debenture dia bayar 48,000. Okay. So, on the date of acquisition to ordinary share 250,000, retain profit 100,000, ARR 80,000, fair value of net asset of fair value of NCI is 120,000. Okay. So, apa yang kita perlu buat? Yang pertama sekali, kita tak tengok lagi additional information. Yang pertama sekali kita akan calculate goodwill. Okay, kita akan calculate goodwill based on partial goodwill. Okay. So, untuk yang pertama kali kita buat ni, kita tengok betul-betul okay, calculation of goodwill ni. Okay, we start with step 1. We show the consideration transferred by listing down what are the items. Ataupun dibayar dengan apa. So, for consideration transferred, Ash pay 180,000 cash and issue 200,000 share. Jadi totalnya adalah 380,000. Okay, soalannya boleh tak kalau kita letak terus 380 di sini? The answer is yes, no problem. You can just put 380,000 here, or you can put one by one, 180 and 200,000. That is step 1 to show the consideration transferred. Right? And step 2 is to list down the fair value of net asset acquired that comprise of share capital 250,000, retained earning 100,000, and ARR 80,000, and we add together, we get the figure of fair value of net asset is 430,000. This is step 2. This is step 2, 430,000. Step 3 is to calculate the non-controlling interest. The non-controlling interest is based on fair value of net asset, and we know that the percentage is 25%. From the analysis, we know that the percentage is 25%. So 25% times 430,000, we get 107,500. Okay. Next is to add together non-controlling interest and consideration transferred. 380,000 plus 107,500, we get 487,500. Yeah, 487,500. This one we can call them fair value of investment. Kita boleh panggil dia fair value of investment. Yeah, 487,500. And then, okay, tadi NCI tu step 3. Kemudian kita dapat fair value of investment 487,500. Compare with fair value of net asset 430,000. The difference is goodwill of 57,500. Okay, the goodwill is 57,500. Okay, are you following?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
very
sir.
good. So sampai setakat goodwill ni kita kena follow dulu. Okay, so yang bawah tu saya tak nak cerita lagi. Kita tengok dulu additional information. Additional information. Okay, so saya nak sebutkan yang goodwill sebanyak 57,500 ni adalah goodwill that is belong to holding company. The goodwill is belong to the holding company. Okay, let's look at the additional information. After we look at additional information, we read the additional information and we understand. Then only we can go through working 2, working 3, and then statement of profit or loss, statement of changes in equity, and also statement of financial position. Okay, jadi kita tengok dulu yang pertama, additional information number 1. Additional information number 1, walaupun ayat dia cuma 3 baris, tetapi makna dia banyak makna dia. Okay, so follow me. During the year, H sold inventory to S. H sold inventory to S. Jadi berapa banyak dijual? Dia punya sale price adalah 90,000. Jadi H sold to S 90,000. So that is the value of sale for the current year, 90,000. At cost plus markup of 20%. So 90,000 is the selling price. 90,000 is the selling price. So from the selling price 90,000, we can find what is the profit. Profit dia adalah 20 per 120 kali 90,000. 20 per 120 kali 90,000. Sebab apa kita guna formula begitu? Because it is a markup formula. Markup formula. So the company H is making profit of 20% out of the 90,000. And then at the end of the year, half of the inventory unsold. Half of the inventory unsold. Daripada 90,000 ni, H jual kepada S 90,000. Sepatutnya S akan jual kepada pihak lain lah 90,000 tadi. Tetapi apa yang berlaku adalah, dia betul, dia dapat jual. At the end of the year, half of the inventory unsold. Daripada 90,000 tadi, 45,000 unsold. And 100,000 still due to H ataupun still due from S. Jadi ada banyak perkara kat sini. Yang pertama, intercompany sale. Yang kedua, ada profit. Yang ketiga, ada inventory yang belum terjual. Okey. Yang keempat, masih lagi terhutang, belum bayar sebanyak 100,000. Dan tadi kata jual 90,000 saja. Tapi kenapa ada 100,000 belum bayar? Maknanya tahun lepas punya pun tak habis bayar lagi. Itu reality in business lah. Okay. Reality in business. So, kita fahamkan dulu cerita dia dulu. Okay. Apa yang berlaku. Jadi, additional information number 1 pun dah ada beberapa kisah. Then, we go to additional information number 2. On 10 October 2014, S sold a machinery to Ash. Sold a machinery to Ash. We do not know the carrying amount. We do not know the selling price. But we know that S is making a loss. Dia jual pada harga yang lebih rendah. The machinery have remaining useful life of 5 years. Okay, what is this? 1,500. Okay. The company cannot make intercompany profit as well as intercompany loss. Intercompany profit pun tak boleh, intercompany loss pun tak boleh. Jadi kalau dia buat juga, kita akan eliminate. 1,500 will be eliminated. Tapi apakah kesan 1,500 ni? Kesan dia adalah carrying amount of the property, plant, equipment, machinery ni adalah menurun. Carrying amount dia turun. So, bila carrying amount turun, depreciation pun turun. So, depreciation dia terkurang. Berapa banyak terkurang? Dia terkurang sebanyak 1,500 bagi dengan 5 setahun. 1,500 divided by 5. Itulah kekurangan dari segi depreciation. Yang ni kita panggil depreciation under provided. 1,500 divided by 5, ada 300 kat situ, under provided. Ataupun understated. Number 3, S paid management fee to H amounted to 2,000 and include as administration cost. S paid management fee to H. So, making a payment, it become an expense for S. And it become a revenue for H. Jadi kita tengok tadi dekat H tu ada revenue sebanyak 2,000, ada income kan? Ada income kat sini sebanyak 2,000. Jadi 2,000 ni pun sebenarnya adalah merupakan receiving from subsidiary. Jadi ada banyaklah item di antara holding dengan subsidiary tadi, selain daripada intercompany purchase dan intercompany sale. Okay. Dan amount tadi kita kena eliminate, eliminate di antara holding dan subsidiary. Okay. Sekejap lagi kita akan patah balik kepada nota. Kita punya nota dalam chapter yang pertama, muka surat second last. Saya akan buka semula nota tu. Goodwill impairment of 20% and 40% for the year ended 31 December 2014 and 2015. Okay, yang ni kita tackle dulu sebab kita baru saja calculate goodwill. Kita tengok tadi kita dapat goodwill 57,500. Kemudian we have an impairment of 20% in the year 2014 amounting to 11,500 and we have 40% impairment in 2015 amounting to 23,000. So at the end of the year 2015, the remaining balance of goodwill is 23,000. Ada dua kali impairment, 2014 dan 2015. Okay. Saya berjanji tadi saya akan masuk ke nota yang hari itu. So saya akan ke sana sekejap. Kita tengok nota sekejap ya. Second last page. Okay, nampak tak ni? Muka surat second last ni. Consolidation procedure. Jadi inilah yang kita buat sekarang ni. Ya, ini yang sedang kita buat sekarang ni, consolidation procedure. Step 1, kita akan combine nanti all like items. Ya, combine like items of asset, liability, equity, income, expenses, cash flow of the parent of the subsidiary. Nanti kita akan buat sekejap lagi. Step 2, eliminate the carrying amount of the parent investment in each subsidiary and the parent portion of equity of each subsidiary. Ini yang kita buat dalam consolidation journal entry dalam tutorial yang tadi, soalan tutorial. Dan step yang ketiga, inilah yang sedang kita buat. Eliminate in full the intra-group asset and liabilities, equity, income, expenses and cash flow relating to transactions between entities of the group, profit or loss resulting from intra-group transaction that are recognized in asset. Okay, macam tadi, subsidiary jual kepada holding dengan kerugian sebanyak 1,500. Jadi termasuklah dalam ni. Kemudian holding pula jual inventory kepada subsidiary dengan keuntungan sebanyak 20%. Jadi kita kena eliminate keuntungan, kita eliminate intercompany transaction. Okay. So ini saya akan tutup lah. Ini cuma nak mengingatkan yang kita pernah go through this step. Okay, kita kembali kepada nota Excel. Okay. Jadi tadi kita dah calculate kita punya goodwill untuk working number 1. Sekarang ni kita akan pergi kepada working number 2. Okay, we go through working number 2. What is this working known? This working is known as analysis of financial statement balance. Okay, so here at least we must have 2 columns. The first column will be for group retained profit or group retained earning, and the second column is non-controlling interest. But we can have more columns if we have other reserve. For example, ARR, we can have the column for ARR. If we have general reserve, we can have a column for general reserve. No problem. As long as the must item or the must column is group retained profit and non-controlling interest. Okay. So now we are going to start the analysis of financial statement. We start with the first item, that is NCI. The first item is NCI on the date of acquisition. So date of acquisition here is referring to the date when we calculate the goodwill. So from the calculation of goodwill, here, from the calculation of goodwill, we know that the non-controlling interest is 107,500. So we just put here 107,500. 107,500. We do not have to recalculate. We have calculated when we calculate the goodwill. Next, we are going to analyze the retained profit of S. Retained profit of S on 1st January 2015. 1st January 2015. So, the profit of S on 1st January 2015 based on the question is 140,000. How do we know that it is 140,000? From the question. From the question here. Retained earning brought down is 140,000. From the question. Okay, so we just put 140,000 and then we minus, what is this DOA? DOA here is referring to retained earning on the date of acquisition. On the date of acquisition, we know that the retained earning is 100,000. So we have to minus 100,000. 140,000 minus 100,000, the balance is 40,000. The question is, why we have to minus 100,000? Why we have to minus 100,000 here? Why not just we take 140,000? No, cannot. Because 100,000 is an amount that cannot be redistributed. Cannot be distributed because we have capitalized this amount. You remember when we calculate the goodwill, we have listed down the retained earning 100,000. So to get the goodwill, Yeah, goodwill is an asset, right? To get the goodwill, you have used this 250, 180. Yeah, 250 means ordinary share. Retained earning is 100 and ARR is 800. 80. So we have utilized all these three for calculating the goodwill. It means the retained earning of 100,000 cannot be distributed. It has been capitalized. That's why we have to minus here. It means the amount that can be distributed is only 40,000. So now we distribute the 40,000 to GRE and NCI. Yeah, the percentage just now is 75%. 75% times 40,000 equals to 30,000. And for the non-controlling interest, it is 25% times 40,000 equals to 10,000. Okay. That is for the retained profit of S on the date of acquisition. Yeah. DOA, yeah, on the date of acquisition. RE on 1st January 2015. Yeah. Just now acquisition happened on 2014. But this one is retained profit on 1st January 2015. Okay. And then we go to the second item in the statement of changes in equity of S, that is ARR. Yeah, ARR, we know that asset revaluation reserve of the subsidiary, okay, on the date of acquisition is 80,000. And the value now is 90,000. Yeah, the value now is 90,000. How do we know that on 1st January 2015, the value is 80,000? We know because the current year, the company has 10,000. Here, yeah, the company has 10,000. So 90,000 is as a result of opening balance plus current year. So if the year-end balance is 90 and the current year is 10, what is the value of opening balance? The value of opening balance is 80,000. Okay, so there is no change on 31st. On 1st January, ya, kita tengok working dua kan. On 1st January 2015, it is 80,000. On the date of acquisition, also 80,000. So there is no balance. Jadi kalau kosong ni kita kali dengan 75% ke, kali dengan 25% ke, jawapan dia tetap kosong juga. Okay. Kemudian kita ada preference share. Preference share of S. Preference share of S, altogether 150,000. 60% belong to holding and 40% belong to the non-controlling interest. Jadi non-controlling interest berapa? 40% times 150,000 equal to 60,000. Okay. Jadi NCI column kita dah ada 3 item. The first item is NCI on the date of acquisition 107,500. Kemudian share of retained profit on 1st January 15, 10,000. Dan juga share of preference share 60,000. Kita campurkan semua sekali, all together 177,500. So on 1st January 2015, the value of non-controlling interest is 177,500. Okay. What about the total group retained profit? Okay. To get the group retained profit total, we have to analyze the retained profit of Edge. Retained profit of Edge on 1st January 15 is 240,000. How do we get this 240,000? From the question. Nampak ni? Retained profit ataupun retained earning brought down 240,000. Kita bawa ke sana. Kemudian, kita jangan lupa pada tahun 2014 kita ada impairment of goodwill sebanyak 11,500. So, 240,000 minus 11,500. The balance is 228,500. Okay. So, 30,000 plus 228,500. The total balance of retained profit on 1st January 2015 is 258,500. And lastly, ARR for Edge H also has ARR. ARR at the beginning of the year of H is 10,000. How do we know that it is 10,000? Yeah, based on the statement of financial position given, it is 30,000. This is the closing balance 30,000. Yeah, for the current year 20,000. If the closing balance is 30,000 and current year is 20,000, what is the opening balance? The opening balance is 10,000. Okay, the opening balance is 10,000. So we put there 10,000. So at the end, on 1st January 2015, we have group retained earning balance of 258,500, group asset revaluation reserve of 10,000, and non-controlling interest of 177,500. Okay. Okay, saya rasa sampai setakat working 2 dulu sebelum kita break. Jadi kita ada apa soalan sebelum kita break 5 minit? Ada tak?
Ada, sir.
Okay, kalau tak ada, kita stop dulu dekat working 2. Kemudian kita akan sambung dengan working 3 dan seterusnya. Kita break 5 minit. Okay, welcome back. Kita tengok ya. Working number 2. Okay, so working number 2 is basically to analyze the items, to analyze the items in the statement of change in equity for the end of the year. The end of the year, that is on 31st December 2015. 31st December 2015. So we have at least 2 columns also, the group retained profit and NCI. Since we have more reserve, then we can put other columns also. Okay, so the first item that we are going to put here is also the non-controlling interest figure that we have calculated from the calculation of goodwill, 107,500. Okay, and then we are going to analyze. We are going to analyze the financial statement of subsidiary. Okay, start with retained profit. Retained profit. Start with retained profit at 31st December 2015. How do we get this 180,500? Anybody knows? Anybody knows? It is combination of brought down and current year. Combination of brought down and current year. We know that the brought down is 140,000 and the current year is 40,500. So we add the two together, it becomes 180,500. Okay. Next, we are going to minus 100,000 also. Why we have to minus? The reason is the same, because we have capitalized this 100,000. We have used the amount for calculating the goodwill. It cannot be distributed anymore. So 108,500 minus 100,000. The balance is 80,500. And then we have to add back the unrealized profit on machine. Do you remember just now I mentioned that we cannot recognize the unrealized profit or unrealized loss. So here, unrealized loss of selling the machine, 1,500 we have to add back. And in relation to the unrealized loss of the machine, we have depreciation under provided amounting to 300. So 180,500 minus 100,000 plus 1,500 minus 300, it equals to 81,700. And this 81,700 will be multiplied by 75% to get the portion of group, and multiplied by 25% to get the portion of the non-controlling interest. So 61,275 for the group and 20,425 for the non-controlling interest. Next is ARR of S. ARR of S on the date 31st December 2015. Okay, from the question, the ARR on 31st December 2015 is 90,000. On the date of acquisition is 80,000. So there is a difference of 10,000. 10,000 is actually the amount of ARR that we get from the statement of profit or loss. Under the category of other comprehensive income, 10,000 times 75% goes to GARR column, and time 25% goes to NCI column. And don't forget about preference share just now, 60,000 for the non-controlling interest. After that, we are going to analyze the retained profit of H. Retained profit of H on 31st December 2025 is 339,750, combination of beginning of the year plus current year. And then we have to minus goodwill impact for 2 times 2014 and 2015. Okay, 339,750, 11,500, 23,000. And we have another one that is the unrealized profit of selling the goods. The holding sold goods amounting to 90,000 to subsidiary, and half of the goods not yet sold. Half of the goods not yet sold means 45,000 not yet sold, and the profit related to that 45,000 is 20% of 120%. So we can simply calculate 20%, 20 divided by 120 times 45,000, we get 7,500 unrealized profit on inventory. So the profit of the holding that can be contributed to the group return profit is 297,750. And lastly, ARR of the holding company at the end of the year is 30,000. Okay. Now we have the balance at the end of the year for the three columns. For the GRE, 359,025. For the GRR, 37,500. And for the non-controlling interest, 190,425. Okay, 190,425. So we have done working number 3. We have done working number 3. What is next? Next is to prepare the statement of financial position. Yeah, prepare the statement of financial position. Okay. So for working number 3 just now, do you have any question? Working number 3? Before we move to statement of financial position. Any question about this working 3? No?
No, sir.
No question. Okay. So we go to A, yeah, statement of financial position. Okay. So in the statement of financial position, we are going to start with the first item under the non-current asset, that is property, plant, and equipment. Okay. So the property, plant, equipment of the group comprise of property, plant, and equipment of the holding and of the subsidiary. If you remember the second last page in the PowerPoint note, it shows that we have to add line item. To add line item. What is add line item? Means property of the holding plus property of the subsidiary. So 295,750 plus 660,500. That is the holding and subsidiary property, plant, equipment. And then we have to add back 1,500. What is 1,500 just now? It is loss on disposal of machinery. We have to add back the loss. Yeah, we have to add back the loss because the loss is not recognized by the group. We have to add back and we have to minus 300. Yeah, depreciation under provided. So it means from PPE line here, we have used step 1 and step 3. Step 1 and step 3. Yeah, step 1 to combine line item. Step 3 to eliminate. Okay, 1,500 and 300 is eliminate. All right. Next, we go through the investment in S, ordinary share, preference share, and debenture. Why the figure is 0? Why the figure is 0? This is step number 2, whereby we eliminate investment in S with the corresponding investment. Okay, so we can see this in the journal entry. Okay, in the journal entry, we can see from here, we are going to debit ARR of the holding of the subsidiary 80,000, debit retained earning 100, debit OSC 250, debit PSC 150, debit debenture 48, debit goodwill 57.5. Okay, and we credit investment in ordinary share. That's why investment in ordinary share becomes 0 because we credit 380. Credit investment in preference share 90. That's why here 0. And credit investment in debenture 48. That's why here is 0. So it becomes 0 because we credited the investment. And then we credit NCI 107,500. That is the reason why it becomes a 0. Right. And then for the non-current asset, the last item is goodwill on consolidation 23,000. We know that the goodwill 57,500. We have to minus the impairment 2 times in 2014, 20%. In 2015, 40%. So the balance is 23,000. All right. Current asset, inventory. Okay. Inventory, we use the step 1 to combine holding and subsidiary, 100 plus 70. And we have to eliminate the unrealized profit inside the inventory. Inside the 70,000, yeah, 70,000 is the inventory of the subsidiary, right? Inside 70,000, we have goods purchased from H. Baki dia tadi, 45,000. Betul? And inside the 45,000, there is unrealized profit of 7,500. That's why we have to minus 7,500. 100 plus 70 minus 7,500. Trade receivable, 150 plus 130. This is step 1. Minus 100, step 3. Why we have to minus 100? Because the subsidiary has not paid yet 100,000 to the holding company. And then dividend receivable. Dividend is receivable from the subsidiary. Interest is receivable from the subsidiary. That's why we have to eliminate the same amount because the amount is coming from the subsidiary. And lastly, cash and bank balances, we just add together the two companies, 218,000. So total asset 1540950. Okay, are you following? Yes. Saya turun jawab. Okay, equity and liabilities. Equity and liabilities, ordinary share. Ordinary share is ordinary share of holding and subsidiary. That is line item. Step 1. Minus 250. That is step 3. Why we have to minus 250? Because we have debited the OSC 250 here. Warna merah ni. Kita debit kan. Ordinary share of subsidiary kita debit. So debit kita tolak lah. So ordinary share is 400,000. The same goes to preference share. 100 plus 150 minus 150. Retained earning, other component of PBT and controlling interest, we don't have to calculate because we have analyzed in working number 3. We just take the figure from working number 3, 359025, 37,500, and 190,425. Okay. Next, debenture. In debenture, original debenture of the subsidiary is 120. 120, but 48 of the debenture already purchased by the holding company. So it is an intercompany. So we need to minus 120 minus 48. What about trade payable? Trade payable is line item 194.35 plus 150. Step 1. And then we go to step 3. We minus the 100 because the subsidiary has not paid to the holding 100,000. Yeah. So actually trade payable and trade receivable is the same item. Yeah. The same item that we minus. Trade receivable is coming from the subsidiary. Trade payable is payable to the holding 100,000. Dividend payable of the group comprise of dividend payable of the holding company, the subsidiary company, as well as we have to minus the intercompany balance. Do you remember that 25,950 is the amount that the subsidiary pay to the holding? This amount must be eliminated. And lastly, the interest payable. Subsidiary has 6,000 interest payable, and out of that, 40% was paid to the holding company. So we have to minus 2.4. Okay. And lastly, tax payable, 75,000. Combination of holding and subsidiary. Okay. Ada apa-apa soalan nak tanya? Kenapa tolak, kenapa campur? Basically yang campur tu adalah step number 1. Yang tolak tu adalah step number 3. Dan juga step number 2. Okay, kalau tak ada soalan, we go to B. B adalah statement of profit or loss. Statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. Okay, we start with revenue. Revenue is revenue of the holding and revenue of the subsidiary. We combine together. That is step 1. Step 1. Why we have to minus 90? 90 is step 3. Intercompany sale, we have to minus. Cost of sale, 250 plus 110. That is step 1, combine line item. What is minus 90? 90 is intercompany purchase. 90 is intercompany purchase. And 7,500, 7.5 is unrealized profit. Yeah, unrealized profit will increase the amount of cost of sale. When we eliminate the unrealized profit, the cost of sale will increase because unrealized profit is situated or stated in the closing inventory. Okay, kita dapat gross profit, and then we have loss on disposal of PPE. We have to eliminate dividend income. We have to eliminate interest income. We have to eliminate other income. We have to eliminate. So basically, 4 item ni akan jadi kosong. Akan jadi kosong. Akan jadi kosong sebab adalah step number 3, intercompany. Next, impairment of goodwill, 23,000. Distribution cost, 55,000. Admin. Okay, for admin, ada adjustment. Admin cost, 50 plus 30. Holding plus subsidiary. Minus 2. Minus 2. Okay. Jadi admin minus 2 sebab apa? Because of management fee. Kemudian plus 0.3. Itu adalah depreciation under provided. Finance cost, 12 minus 4.8. 12,000 is the amount of interest paid by the subsidiary. Out of that, 4,800 is the interest on debenture paid by the subsidiary to holding company. We need to eliminate. Okay. Kemudian kita sampai kepada profit before tax. Dan kita sampai kepada taxation. Taxation is combination. Okay. Lastly, kita dapat profit for the year. Ataupun profit after tax. And then we add the other comprehensive income, ada fair value gain on revaluation. Ataupun surplus on revaluation. So surplus on revaluation, 20,000 from the holding, 10,000 from the subsidiary. Altogether, 30,000. Okay. Out of profit, 170,000 and total comprehensive income of 200,000. Okay. 25% of the profit of the subsidiary and total comprehensive income of the subsidiary belong to the non-controlling interest. Kan? Jadi, kita kena ingat, dah selesai kita dapat profit after tax, dah selesai kita dapat total comprehensive income, kita kena ingat, kita bukanlah satu-satunya pemegang saham di dalam S. Kita bukan satu-satunya pemegang saham, kita bukan acquire 100% share. Kita cuma acquire 75%. Jadi ada satu pihak lagi yang akan claim profit of the subsidiary. Jadi kita tengok calculation di bawah ni. Siapa yang akan claim profit of the subsidiary? Namanya adalah non-controlling interest. So, to find the non-controlling interest portion of the profit of the subsidiary, we are going to start with profit after tax of subsidiary from the question. Profit after tax of the subsidiary from the question is 77,500. Boleh tak kita dapatkan 77,500 ni? Betul ke? Betul 77,500 di sini. So kita ambil saja angka tersebut 77,500. We start with 77,500. And then we have to add back the unrealized loss on machinery 1,500, and we have to minus the depreciation effect on the unrealized loss, and we have another item that is preferred dividend paid by the subsidiary. Okay, so at the end, the balance of profit of the subsidiary after minus and plus all the adjustment, it is 66,700. 66,700. Out of 66,700, 25% belongs to the non-controlling interest, which equals to 16,675. 16,675. Kemudian, preference dividend tadi pun dia ada portion juga. Preference dividend 12,000 tadi, portion dia adalah 60%. 60% of 40%. portion dia adalah 40%. 40% kali dengan 12,000. Kita dapat 4,800. Jadi, total amount of profit attributable to non-controlling interest adalah 16,675 campur dengan 4,800. Totalnya adalah 21,475. So, 21.75 tadi, kita tolak daripada 170,000 total profit after tax. Ini bermakna the profit after tax that is belong to the parent is 148,525. For the non-controlling interest, 21,475. Manakala total comprehensive income pula, total comprehensive income tadi kalau kita ingat, ada lagi satu item contributed by the subsidiary, iaitu ARR sebanyak 10,000. ARR 10,000 ada bahagian untuk non-control interest sebanyak 25%. 25% bahagian dia. So 10,000 times 25% equal to 2,500. Jadi 21,475 plus 2,500 equal to 23,975. Jadi kita lihat out of 200,000 TCI total comprehensive income, 23,975 belong to the non-controlling interest and 176,025 belong to the parent company. Okay, tak habis lagi. A dan B kita dah buat. Last sekali C, statement of changes in equity. The balance brought down is coming from working number 2 and the balance carried down is coming from the working number 3. Okay, so in between we have to record profit after tax for the year we have just calculated. Holding 148,525. NCI 21,475. Revaluation during the year, holding ada berapa? 20,000. Subsidiary ada 10,000. So, 10,000 tadi ada bahagian untuk holding, ada bahagian untuk NCI. 2,500 is for NCI. 7,500 is for the group. Jadi, itu yang menjadikan revaluation for the year 27,500. Sebab apa? Sebabnya 20,000 is coming from the holding company and 7,500 is coming from the subsidiary. Okay. Kemudian item last sekali dividend proposed. Holding ada 48,000. Subsidiary ada berapa dividend? Subsidiary declare dividend ordinary 25,000. Preference 12,000. Totalnya 37,000. Out of 37,000, how much goes to the non-controlling interest? How much? Ordinary 25%, kan? 25,000 times 25% equal to 6,250. Whereas the preference share 12,000 times 40% equal to 4,800. Okay, equal to 4,800. Jadi jawapan dia berapa? 11050. Dividend proposed by the subsidiary. So total balance carried down 359,025 untuk GRE, ARR 37,500 dan NCI 190,425. Follow kelas?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Very good. Ada apa-apa soalan nak tanya? 9.30 sekarang. Okay. Kalau tak ada soalan, kita pergi kepada yang full goodwill. Full goodwill ni dia ada sedikit saja perbezaan dan kita akan go through perbezaan-perbezaan dia sahaja. Only the difference between partial and full goodwill. The question is the same. The question is the same. The difference is only on calculating the non-controlling interest. So kita naik ke atas sekali. Kita naik atas sekali. Di sini di sini sama semua. Okey, kat sini fair value of non-controlling interest is 120,000, bukan 107,500. Dia 120,000. Bukan 107,500. Jadi itu perbezaan dia. So when we want to calculate the goodwill, working one goodwill kan? Goodwill dia CT sama. The CT is the same, 180,000 and 200,000. Okay. But the ni. The non-control interest is at fair value 120,000. So now the fair value of investment. The fair value of investment is different. 500,000 kan? 500,000 kita compare dengan 430,000, kita dapat goodwill 70. Yang tadi 57,500, sekarang ni 70,000. Sama ke tak sama? Jawapan dia tentulah tak sama. Sebab kali ni bila non-control interest was valued at fair value, maknanya sekarang ni non-control interest has a portion in the goodwill. Ada portion dia untuk goodwill. Jadi kalau tadi 57,500, sekarang ni 70,000. Jadi goodwill yang dimiliki oleh NCI berapa banyak? Nilai dia adalah the difference between 70,000 and 57,500. That is 12,500. Jadi the parent ada 57,500, the non-controlling interest ada 12,500 and the total is 70,000. Okay. So whenever there is an impairment of 20%, the value of impairment is 14,000. And whenever there is impairment of 40%, the value of impairment is 28,000. So at the end of year 2015, the balance of the goodwill is 28,000, not 23,000. Okay. So for the impairment, how are we going to allocate the impairment to the holding and to the non-controlling interest? In year 2014, total impairment is 14,000. How much belong to the holding company and how much belong to the non-controlling interest? For the non-controlling interest, 12,500 times 20%. For the holding company, 57,500 times 20%. For the second year, 2015, for the holding company, 57,500 times 40%. And for the non-control interest, 12,500 times how many percent? 40% also. Okay. So we can see from here that at the end of year 2015, the balance of the parent goodwill is 23,000 and the balance of goodwill of NCI is 5,000. So 23 plus 5 equal to 28,000. That is the first difference. The second difference is when we analyze the financial statement brought down. When we analyze the financial statement brought down, of course, the value of the non-control interest change from 107,500 to 120,000. The rest are the same, except for the impairment of goodwill. If for the partial goodwill, impairment is only for the group. And for the full goodwill, impairment is for the group as well as for the NCI. So NCI 2,500. And after we calculate all, we get the balance brought down of the group retained earning, ARR, and non-controlling interest is as follows. 258,500 for the group retained earning, ARR 10,000, and NCI is 187,500. Only two differences. Yang warna kuning ni differences ni. Okay. And then when we analyze the financial statement of the group, Okay. Financial statement of the group based on full goodwill. Okay. There are 3 differences. Ada 3 perbezaan saja. Yang pertama adalah on the date of acquisition, the NCR is 120,000. And then untuk impairment tadi. Impairment dia ada 2 impairment iaitu 2,500 and 5,000. Yang lain-lain semua sama. Okay. Yang lain-lain semua sama. Dan ini adalah balance of GRE, group, ARR as well as NCI dan controlling interest. Okay. Adakah ada perbezaan di dalam statement of financial position? Jawapannya tiada. Kecuali goodwill. The balance of goodwill is 28,000. And of course lah. 3 item ni akan berbeza lah. Berbeza daripada yang partial tadi. Tetapi kita ambil daripada working number 3. Iaitu analysis of financial statement carried down. Yang lain-lain sama. Kemudian statement of profit or loss semua sama. Semua sama. Tidak ada perbezaan dia. Kita nampak profit for the year 170,000. Total comprehensive income 200,000. Ya, ARR pun sama 2147. Sorry. Ni NCI. NCI sama 21475 dan di sini 23975 dengan kiraan yang sama. Okey. Dan okey, last sekali. Last sekali adalah statement of changes in equity. The balance brought down is coming from the working 2. The balance carried down is coming from working 3. Okay. So, the balance brought down to 58,500, 10,000, 187,500 is coming from working number 2. There is no acquisition during the year. Profit after tax for the year 148,525 dan 21475 untuk holding dan juga untuk non-controlling interest. Revaluation reserve pun sama juga. Okay, yang berbeza ada impairment of goodwill untuk siapa? Untuk kolom non-controlling interest ada 5,000. Kemudian dividend proposed tu sama saja. Jadi ada satu perbezaan saja di dalam statement of changes in equity iaitu ada impairment of goodwill untuk kolom non-controlling interest. Okay. Untuk kolom non-controlling interest. Okay, jadi saya open kepada anda semua. Okay, gangguan kali yang ketiga daripada internet. Okay, harapnya awak boleh mendengar apa yang saya cakap, apa yang saya ajarkan pada hari ini. I hope you can listen and you can understand. Okay, so sekali lagi saya ingin tunjukkan perbezaan, perbezaan di antara full goodwill dengan partial goodwill. Perbezaan dia adalah in the calculation of goodwill. In the calculation of goodwill, for the full goodwill, the non-controlling interest is 120,000. Okay, to calculate the full goodwill, step 1 is still the same. CT. Step 2 adalah NCI. Step 3, the fair value of net asset. Step 4, goodwill. Kalau kita nak calculate goodwill based on partial, step 1, CT. Step 2, fair value of net asset. Step 3, NCI, dan step 4, goodwill. Itu beza dia. Kemudian bila kita nak buat calculation untuk working number 2, working number 2 ada tambahan impairment. Impairment of goodwill untuk non-controlling interest. Begitu juga dengan working number 3, ada impairment of goodwill untuk non-controlling interest. Kemudian dalam statement of changes in equity pun ada impairment of goodwill untuk non-controlling interest. Untuk statement of financial position, perbezaan dia ialah pada goodwill balance. Ada goodwill balance saja. Kemudian statement of profit or loss, tidak ada apa-apa perbezaan di antara full goodwill dengan partial goodwill. So saya rasa kelas saya pada hari ini setakat ini saja. Oh, nanti. Tak boleh. Ada sikit lagi masa. Kita cuba tengok ni soalan. Soalan yang saya sediakan untuk awak buat. Soalan ni adalah soalan mana ya? Ni. CSOFP sample question. Ni. Soalan ni saya nak minta awak buat lah. Cuba buat Soalan ni cuba buat. Soalan ni sebenarnya adalah soalan komprehensif tetapi peringkat diploma. Peringkat diploma, jadi untuk kita meneruskan consolidated financial statement di peringkat degree ni, kita cuba dulu satu set soalan daripada diploma. Boleh tak kita buat? Ini sebab hot and spicy. Hot and spicy. Lepas tu kat situ ada yang saya kata diploma tadi, because only one holding, one subsidiary. Kalau soalan untuk degree ni ada 4 company. Untuk diploma 2 company saja. Kalau degree 4 company. Paling kurang 3. Biasanya 4. Okey, so kat situ ada, kita nampak nampak tak ada investment in spicy, ada 3 investment. Ada investment in ordinary share, preference share, debenture. Kemudian kita tengok additional information. Jadi dekat situ adalah beberapa intercompany balances and transaction. So based on apa yang kita dah belajar daripada Excel tadi, untuk yang partial dan juga untuk yang full goodwill, kita dah boleh nak prepare jawapan untuk soalan ini. Sekarang kita nak tengok satu perkara penting saja, iaitu non-control interest. Non-control interest kat sini is measured at the proportion of fair value of net asset of Spicy Berhad on the date of acquisition. Jadi adakah dia full goodwill ataupun partial goodwill? Class. Is it full goodwill or partial goodwill? Fair value of net asset. Partial ke full?